Breaking news, GameDev is hard. I know, we're a novelty. But yeah, I finally finished my first project, The Lighthouse, a small horror game I made for a game jam, and I want to talk about the hardships I found as a beginner. One of the biggest issues I had when I was starting was picking a game engine. I currently use Godot and I plan on using it in the future, but I spent most of my first years struggling with finding a comfortable engine. First, I tried Unity, the go-to engine for most people, and I made that one platformer tutorial that everyone has done. But I found most things about Unity very uncomfortable, and I had a very bad PC at the time, so I couldn't have the engine and VS Code open at the same time, and this only made the experience worse for me. I was pretty young at that time, and I actually gave up after trying Unity for a few weeks, and I thought of giving up my dream of being a game developer. Until a few months later, I think I was 14 at the time, I stumbled across a Harvard course on some framework for the language Lua. I think the framework is called Love 2D or something like that, and it taught how to make a pump flow in that framework. And I actually did it. I enjoyed it because Lua is way easier than C Sharp. And for some reason that I really don't remember, I didn't keep going. And time went on, and when I was 15, turning to 16, I started to get interested in coding. And I reached for a very good place to learn, Recode Camp. I started my HTML course and left it when CSS came into play because I realized I didn't quite like web development. And then Recode launched a new course, C Sharp. I recognized the language immediately because, well, I tried Unity in the past, and maybe knowing a little bit more about C Sharp could make using Unity easier and I could finally be a game developer. I tried to learn C Sharp and actually was having fun. I finished my course and went back to use Unity, but I didn't actually make a game in Unity. I made a few tutorials stuff, but I still didn't like Unity as a piece of software. I think I just have an issue with it. And I know it's great. I know lots of people love Unity, but it's just not for me. And so I went on my quest to find my own engine. And my mind went directly to the other big engine at the time, that is Unreal Engine. But I didn't quite feel really fond to visual scripting, and that is when I came across Godot. Because of the Unity controversy, lots of people jumped to it, and I was part of that bunch. And needless to say, I really fell in love with Godot. I like the UI, I like the node system, JavaScript being so similar to Python, felt like a really responsive language, and Godot's documentation was just really helpful for me, a complete beginner. After having that sorted out, I fell into the pits of tutorial hell. I know it's a common issue and I know it sounds really scary, but I'm just exploring all of it, and the best advice I can give you to get out is just going through it. I transitioned from just making whatever the tutorial did to add stock to those projects and then to making my own things. I still use help when I'm stuck, whether it's documentation or tutorials on specific things, but I don't rely on step-to-step guides to make something minimal. Another way to get out of it and what pushed me through were game jams. They are a wonderful experience and an incredible tool to improve as a game developer. As I mentioned earlier, The Lighthouse is my first complete project, but still, I feel like I learned a lot from my unfinished jam projects. They help me address issues like overscoping and perfectionism, which are both very hurtful. We tend to underestimate how difficult or time consuming things are and end up frustrated or disappointed when we can make them. We also try to achieve perfection, which is just auto-destructive behavior. Perfection is not a thing, it's just an imaginary goal we chase but can obtain. Whether it's just a game or any other kind of craft or work, even if it's objectively bad at the end, the important parts are that you enjoy the process and that you learn from it. So this is my little insight on my experience at game dev. and I hope you enjoy it and see you next time. Bye.